It's day 2 of the Providence healthcare workers strike, and today Providence announced they have started the discussion with federal mediators about resuming negotiations. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. Let's get right to our Celine Stevens, who is live in the newsroom tonight. Celine, you've heard from Providence and the nurses union today. What's coming up next?
John, well, Providence says that they're ready to get back to the table today with Providence, Medford, and Newburgh, which they say was earlier than they anticipated. Meanwhile, union members also held a rally today advocating for their fair contract with the support of a few special speakers, including Senator Jeff Merkley.
Who are we?
ONA! It's the patients who suffer, and it's the workers who bear that burden.
Doctors, nurses, politicians, and members of other unions came out to speak in support of members of the Oregon Nurses Association, who are on day 2 of the largest healthcare workers strike in state history.
It's not okay that you're understaffed. It's not okay that you're overworked. It's bad for you. It's bad for the patients. Are you ready to fight for safer staffing?
Providence healthcare workers pressing Providence for better wages, but more importantly, they say, better staffing to keep patients safe.
Providence paints it as something that we're doing to upset community care. We're saying what we're doing is something that will help improve the care we provide our patients.
Providence has made offers to increase raises, but the union says it's not enough, and that Providence has the money to not only offer better wages, but improve the staffing at their hospitals. But Providence reports that through the third quarter of 2024, they've seen a loss of $103 million. Now, Providence says they feel their Medford and Newburgh locations are ready for negotiations to begin again.
These are the two ministries that we feel like are ready to talk to us. I think we're feeling at those two tables specifically, we had resolved a lot of the differences prior to this work stoppage.
When I asked Providence what will be different in their next proposals, specifically in regards to staffing, here's what they had to say.
So I'm not at those tables. You know, these are individual hospitals, and they are the teams that bargain those agreements. Frankly, most of the staffing conversation had reached a place that there was a fair amount of agreement prior to this work stoppage being called.
So at the rally, Providence's CEO's salary was also brought up as a talking point, with the union saying that Providence does have the money they need to meet their demands. In 2023, Providence's CEO made around $14.8 million. Still, Providence has said they've paid out over $585 million in wages and benefits to hospital RNs over the last 12 months. Providence says they will also start making plans to schedule negotiations with the other bargaining units in the days ahead. John?
Celine Stevens tonight. Celine, thank you so much for your reporting today. Turning now to weather, we saw some light rain, misty conditions early in the day, but we're treated to a few sun breaks late this afternoon. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us tonight. Joe, a possibility of a break from the rain over the next couple days.
Exactly right. We are going to be looking at basically more dry than wet conditions heading into tomorrow, and that's going to hold true over the next few days or so. As we look toward the West Hills right now in downtown Portland, temperature of 47 degrees. We saw just about 1/10 of an inch of rain earlier this afternoon, and still picking up a little bit of some spotty showers throughout the northern part of the valley, a little bit near Mount Hood, but you're not going to be seeing much in terms of rainfall amounts tonight and into tomorrow. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy a good portion of the morning and into the afternoon. Late tomorrow afternoon, we'll start to see the clouds break a little bit, but this is what we've seen over the last 48 hours, just over 1/3 of an inch of rain really throughout parts of the valley, and over in Astoria, you've seen about 6/10 of an inch of rain, and it's been a little bit of some showery conditions over into the northwest area, or I should say up in the Seattle area. So here we are tomorrow morning, a little before 6 o'clock, mostly cloudy skies. Again, those clouds don't lift until right around 3:30, 4 o'clock. That's when we'll start to see some a little bit more of the sunshine, but there is going to be a lot of sunshine, John, heading into the next week. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you.
It was like our dream come true that we worked so hard to get here, and now to see it this way. I never thought I would live through something like this.
Just heartbreaking. People living in Southern California are starting to return to some evacuation zones and face the grim reality that their homes were destroyed by wildfires. Like this Altadena couple who evacuated the Palisades Fire in the middle of the night.
I still don't feel like it's real. Even this morning, I was like, no, the house is still there. We'll be able to go back. And I was like, no, it's gone. Everything is gone.
Today, winds have shifted east, forcing new mandatory evacuation orders as the Palisades Fire nears major freeways in new cities. Right now, there are still 4 active fires, with progress being made on controlling the 2 largest. The Palisades Fire, which has burned more than 22,000 acres, is now 11% contained. The Eaton Fire, which has burned over 14,000 acres, is now 15% contained. This update given today by the Los Angeles mayor and fire chief, who stressed they're working together despite recent remarks about not having enough firefighters due to budget cuts.
Clear about something. The fire chief and I are focused on fighting these fires and saving lives, and any differences that we might have will be worked out in private, but right now, our first and most important obligation to Angelenos is to get through this crisis.
Federal agents announced today they're leading the investigation into the Palisades Fire. The ATF said there's no indication it started accidentally since there were no reports of lightning that day, nor any transformer lines impaired. Arson is also being investigated. And an update to Oregon's efforts to help fight firefighting in Southern California. Today, the Oregon State Fire Marshal's office says it's mobilizing 6 more strike teams to head that way. That means 30 water tenders and 70 firefighters from a dozen Oregon counties are joining the 15 strike teams already in Los Angeles. They'll stay in the area for at least 2 weeks or longer if needed. KGW is teaming up with the American Red Cross to support wildfire victims in Southern California. If you have the means, please consider donating by scanning this QR code or look for the links at the top of our website, kgw.com. You can also donate at any U.S. Bank branch. Donations in the short term will help the Red Cross shelter and feed survivors, provide mental health support, and help with reunification efforts. So far, more than 150 of you have donated more than $23,000. From all of us here at KGW, thank you so much for your generosity. Developing this evening, a Salem man has been charged with the death of his girlfriend. Priscilla Aldana has been missing since before Christmas. Police found her body on January 3rd. Alma McCarty spoke to her mother and sister after the suspect was arraigned in court.
A few days before Christmas, 43-year-old Priscilla Aldana vanished.
I just had a feeling that she had never left Salem.
Her mother, Iris, and her sister, Delia, reported her missing and began their search, including where she was last seen, around Lancaster Drive and Haggers Grove Road.
And we moved on throughout, and we just kept spreading the word, spreading the word. I'm gonna find my sister. I'm gonna find her if I have to tear up the town and all the towns around. But there was no news coming back, no updates, no nothing. They were coming up empty-handed. Everywhere they searched, looked, talked to people.
Then, on January 3rd, Salem police detectives found a body in a vacant lot outside a burned building on Lancaster Drive Southeast. The medical examiner identifying the victim as Priscilla.
My sister didn't deserve to go out like that.
Then, this Thursday, officers arrested Priscilla's boyfriend, 44-year-old Eric Meza, on charges of murder, arson, and abuse of a corpse.
I'm trusting the authorities to do the right thing, to be able to prove this beyond a reasonable doubt that yes, he had involvement in this.
And as their search now turns toward justice,
I'm gonna remember her just the way that she was. From the day she was born until the last moment I saw her. Just a wonderful individual with a great big heart. Priscilla's loved by everybody above and beyond, and this has impacted so many people that she's never gonna leave our hearts. She has left a mark in this world for a lot of people.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
It was a scary morning for a Gresham coffee shop after a truck crashed through the storefront, narrowly missing multiple people. Police told us there was a two-car crash just after 10 o'clock on Northeast Kelly Avenue in 2nd Street. One of the drivers hit the gas instead of the brakes, causing him to jump a curb and run through Autumn Coffee Roasting. One of the workers told us there was a large group of people sitting near where that truck came in.
We had an entire table of 8 to 12 people enjoying their morning, had their run. We had lots of scrapes, bruises. Thankfully, everyone moved very quickly out of the way of the vehicle.
No one was severely hurt. Autumn Coffee says they'll likely take the weekend off, but plan to be up and running as soon as they can. New tonight, 2 people are in custody after causing a crash while trying to get away from police. Officers found 2 people slumped over in an SUV at Southeast 60th and Francis around 11:15 this morning. One of those people had a gun in his lap. When trying to get away, they rammed a patrol car and then crashed into a parked vehicle at Southeast 34th and Inslee. They were taken to the hospital and will head to jail after they're cleared. Officers learned that gun was stolen. People in a small Washington town are reaching out to help their neighbor after her mobility scooter was stolen. Lisa Harkness has relied on her scooter to get around, especially after her and her husband's car broke down in December. But she said it was taken Thursday outside of their Woodland home.
I was gone for about 2.5 hours. It was parked where I'm at, and they literally took the sack that I had in the scooter basket and sat it right there where the water bottle is.
Harkness suffered a logging injury 37 years ago, making walking extremely difficult. Her husband also uses a mobility scooter to get around. Woodland police have been notified, but they said the chances of getting her scooter back are slim.
It's been a very rocky 2-3 months, and I believe in human hearts, and I know there's good people out there that would help if they knew.
The Harknesses are also asking for financial support to replace the scooter if it can't be recovered. We'll have that link on our website, kgw.com.